Gentleman yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Ohio rise?
I rise to strike the last word in support of the Amash-Kucinich Amendment.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
The esteemed chair, my good friend of the Defense Appropriations, raises a question. Where are they getting the money? The money is not, as he points out, expressly in the bill. Well, this legislation, the Amash-Kucinich Amendment, isn't to delete funds that have already been appropriated. This is to forbid the administration from using funds that are appropriated in this act. Now, there's no way that Congress could or would intervene to stop a search and rescue mission, and that's not relevant unless you're talking about that this Congress is finally going to search this defense budget, figure out where the president is getting the money, and rescue the American taxpayers from a wasteful war and rescue the Constitution from an illegal war. That is what makes this a search and rescue mission. But no search and rescue is prohibited by the Amash-Kucinich Amendment. Now, I want to say that I'm proud to have worked with Mr. Amash to come together with this bipartisan agreement, and the support for it's growing. We have Mr. Paul, Ms. Woolsey, Mr. Jones, Mr. Conyers, Mr. Burton, Ms. Barbara Lee, Mr. Poe, Mr. Stark, Mr. McClintock, Mr. Nadler, Mr. Nugent, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Honda. The support is growing, and members can call either Mr. Amash's office or my office right now if they want to co-sponsor. This is our moment in Congress. This is our moment to reclaim the Constitution of the United States, which the founders envisioned, that under Article 1, Section 8, we have the power to determine whether or not this nation goes to war, not some rebel group in Benghazi, because when you reduce it to its ultimate, a group of Benghazi rebels made the decision to go to war against its own government, and before you know it, NATO joins in, we're pulled into it. The administration went to everyone except getting the approval of the United States Congress. This is our moment to reclaim the Constitution. Will we rise to the occasion? This isn't only about this Congress right now. History will judge us whether or not we understood the imperative of Article 1, Section 8. This is about the Constitution. Certainly it's about $1 billion that would be spent by September unless we intervene. At a time of rising debt, at a time of tremendous pressure in the budget, at a time when local governments in our communities are cutting public services because they don't have the money, this administration determines they're going to keep us into war, and they didn't even so much as give this Congress an opportunity to have this debate before the decision was made. That was wrong, and I appreciate that we've been able to set aside any partisan disagreements that are part of the nature of this forum, to understand that we have a higher calling here, and that higher calling is to defend this Constitution of the United States, which describes what our duties are. When we come here, we take the oath to defend the Constitution. That's what we shall do today. We shall rescue this Congress from the ignominy of having the rights that the people expect us to exercise in their behalf just trampled by an administration that doesn't think that we have any co-equal role in the government at all. This is our moment to stand up. Democrats and Republicans alike, I'm proud to work with Mr. Amash in crafting this bipartisan Kucinich-Amash amendment. This is our moment, members. Let's not lose this opportunity to stand up and speak out on behalf of the United States Constitution, on behalf of the separation of powers, on behalf of the co-equality of our House of Representatives and the Congress of the United States, let's show the founders, and the spirit of the founders is always with us in this place. Let's demonstrate that we remember where we came from when this Constitution was set forth. Let's demonstrate that we have reached our moment where we stand up. Thank you. Yield back.
For what purpose does the